Have you ever wondered what it's felt like to empty an entire arsenal into something and watch it just laugh at you? Or better yet, have a 9-foot-tall vampire lady regenerate right in front of you after you think you just killed her? Well, today we're diving into the most unbeatable monsters in Resident Evil history. The ones that make speedrunners pause and regular players just quit the game entirely. Don't be that person that comments, nah, I'd win. You're not gonna win. You're not like that, trust me.
You're not that guy.
Let's start with everyone's tall glass of... Never mind, I'm not gonna go there. Lady D, standing at a staggering 9'6". She's not just tall, she makes NBA players look like kindergartners. She's also practically immortal, unless you get my boy Ethan here. He changes that. Let's talk about what makes her truly unbeatable for an average person like you. Her raw physical capabilities. Thanks to the Cadeau parasite, Lady D isn't just tall, she's a biological powerhouse. Her strength is absolutely ridiculous. Those slender fingers can turn into razor-sharp claws that can cut your hand clean off. But here's the really terrifying part. Her regenerative abilities make her borderline immortal. Regular bullets, they might as well just be spitballs to her. Knife wound, you're just gonna make her angry. And even if you somehow inflict some serious damage, she's just gonna heal right away. But what really sets her apart is her intelligence. Unlike some of the other monsters who don't think as well, she doesn't just chase you, she hunts you. She'll cut off escape routes, herd you into corners, and worst of all, she'll talk to you while doing it. Well, for some of you, not me, definitely not me. You might like that. I don't know. I'm not pointing any fingers. And just when you think you figured out how to deal with her, when you finally get that knife and you stab her, yeah, she transforms into a dragon. Her dragon form isn't just bigger. She uses new transformation so she can slam into walls, get you out of corners while you're hiding during her boss fight. Oh, and she can fly, so yeah, good luck. She's even more durable than before. The psychological impact here can't be understated. Being hunted by Lady D isn't just about avoiding her attacks, it's about keeping your sanity intact. It's comparable to the other Resident Evil monsters that stalk you. You're scared in the moment while they're chasing you, but once you finally lose them, you're worried about if they're back on your tail or not. Even if you somehow manage to get military-grade weapons to try to fight her, you'd still be in trouble. You'd shoot a rocket launcher at her while inside the castle, and it'd come crumbling down on you. You're not surviving. And she might just walk everywhere, but with those long legs, she's just, I don't know, she's like Usain Bolt, just moving quickly. Your only real option? Jump out a window. You're gonna die anyways. But if you thought being hunted by a tall vampire lady was hard enough, wait until you see something that makes her look like a friendly neighbor. House Beneviento, whatever that says, yeah, that is 100% the most terrifying psychological horror part of Resident Evil Village. While some of you guys are battling with your mental after the castle, trying to figure out your preferences in women now, the real horror awaits at the house. House Beneviento, while you're walking up, it's already leading up that this is different than what we just experienced. You're seeing Mia while you're walking up, you're hearing creepy noises, it's really messing with your mental rather than you're being chased by Big Lady. Once you enter this house, you go down in the basement, you're trying to figure some things out when, all of a suddenly you hear a baby crying and you suddenly remember that when you entered this basement, they took all your guns, so now you have no way to defend you. But why would you be scared? It's just a baby crying. Nothing's gonna, oh my god, what is that? The design team at Capcom really outdid themselves here. A giant baby with distorted features. Its flesh looks like raw. It's disgusting. It's gross. Its movement is very unnatural and staggered as it's coming towards you, and why is its mouth that big? We've talked about how scary it is, but let's talk about what actually makes it unbeatable. The environment itself works against you. Those tight corridors, they're barely wide enough to squeeze past things. The hiding spots, you can barely see out of those. The constant darkness doesn't help. You'll end up hearing the baby before you see it, and it's too late. It creates this level of tension that's almost unbearable. It makes you want to pause the game. The psychological warfare is relentless in this part. Every time you think you found a safe spot, a giggle echoes through the hallways. Every time you start to catch your breath, you hear the wet footsteps coming closer. The game knows how to prey on your most basic fears. Being pursued, being trapped, and being absolutely hopeless. For the average person, this encounter would be impossible to survive. I need you to look at this like you're actually there. I get playing a game and being in an actual location would be different, so think about it. You're actually here. You have a gigantic baby crawling towards you. What are you doing? The same as me, you're crying. And really, pat on the back for the Capcom designers. These sounds are terrifying. The way they echo through these abandoned hallways is genuinely super terrifying. But if you thought being hunted by a giant mutant baby was terrifying, wait until you meet the most unsettling monster in gaming history. Or maybe not, it freaked me out pretty bad. The Regenerators from Resident Evil 4 are easily one of the scariest monsters. Let's talk about what makes these really unbeatable. First, their basic biology is just a straight up middle finger to conventional combat. You shoot them in the head, oh yeah, they're perfectly fine. Blow off their limbs, yeah, they sprout new ones. But let's think about it like this. You empty an entire clip into their body, Yeah, now you're out of bullets. Nice job. They also have this gross, uneasy breathing. Speaking of breathing, let's talk about that. The raspy, wet inhale that they have. It's the sound of something that shouldn't be alive. Somehow, though, it's still drawing breaths, even if you've unloaded clips into it. The way they move is another level to this nightmare. Their bodies can stretch and contort against regular physics. One minute, they're shambling towards you like some drunk dude running for the subway. In the next, they're launching themselves across the room, like some insane dolphin dive thing. The thing that makes them truly unbeatable, though, is how to kill them. The Lost Plagueis that's in them that's controlling the Regenerators' bodies aren't in conventional spots, they're randomly placed. And the only way to see this is with special thermal goggles. And even if you do get your hands on these somehow, that's no promise that you're gonna beat these things. They still move unconventionally while they're leaning side to side like a drunk man. While you shot one of the parasites, you're gonna be reloading to shoot the next, and that thing's already diving towards you. Oh yeah, and then there's the Iron Maiden version, which just makes these things 10 times more terrifying and durable. Even for someone like Leon, who has multiple years of military experience and training, these things were difficult for him to kill. How do you think you're gonna fare as an average person? Not well. But while their generators are almost impossible to kill, the liquor doesn't even give you a chance. If you ever wondered what would happen if you combined Spider-Man with some freaky dude, that's the Lickers. These nightmares on legs first showed up in Resident Evil 2, and they've been giving people heart attacks ever since. Their entire hunting strategy? Let's break that down, and why it is nearly impossible for the average person to survive. First, there's their mobility. They can crawl on the floor, on the wall, on the ceiling. You don't know where you have to look for them because they could be anywhere. And then there's you who's pointing and laughing while you're running into your safe room, and then it just extends its tongue and grabs you. How'd you forget about that? Oh, and let's not forget about the claws that they have, because the tongue isn't the only thing. They'll claw straight through your back. While Leon, he can just eat a green plant and be perfectly fine. You, on the other hand, it's gonna hurt pretty bad. But here's the interesting thing that you guys might call out. They're blind. Yeah. We know. Just because they're blind doesn't make them dumb. With their blindness, they make up for it with having incredible hearing. Every footstep, every reload, every whisper, every prayer, they can hear it. Think about this for a second. To survive a licker, you need to move slowly and silently through a dark, terrifying corridor where death could be at every corner. The average person can barely walk through their house at night without stubbing their toe, even with their nightlight. And let's talk about their pack hunting behavior, because more times than not, these things are not on their own. They have the ability to coordinate attacks with each other. While one's hitting you, the other one's preparing to hit you right after. And I know I bring this up a lot, but the psychological impact has to be dangerous for you. While you're going through all this, you have to think, if I make too much noise, this could be my last. The creaking floorboard, you're done. The nervous breathing, yeah, they can hear that. And while your heart's beating out of your chest, which it will be, they can probably hear that too. Basically, what I'm trying to say is encountering a licker for a normal human, this is literally death for you. I'm not saying I'm much better, but you're gonna do as good as I am. But if you thought something that can hear your every move was bad, wait until you meet someone that can dodge bullets, throw cars, and probably beat you in chess while doing all that at the same time. Imagine if Superman decided to become a supervillain, put on some shades, it'd begin to have the biggest ego known to man. That's Albert Wesker, basically. What makes Wesker truly unbeatable isn't just his powers, it's the fact that he's playing 4D chess while everyone else is playing checkers. This man turned betrayal into an art form. But let's break down why the average person wouldn't last 5 seconds with Wesker. So let's talk about it. This man can dodge bullets, he makes the Flash look like he's on an evening stroll. His strength, it's ridiculous. We're talking about someone who can punch through solid concrete, but no one's like Chris. He can't punch a boulder. If you punched him, it would feel like a gentle breeze. His intelligence is the biggest factor. He's a scientific genius with a master's in manipulation. He's always 10 steps ahead, figuratively and literally. While you're looking in front of you, he's doing some like shadow step behind you and judging your outfit. Let me put it into perspective a little bit for you. You're fighting someone who can move faster than you blink, survive injuries that would kill a normal person, you, calculate complex battle strategies while teleporting around you, basically. I know it's not teleporting, I know it's just really fast, whatever. And rock a leather outfit while doing it. That just sounds scary. And even if you think you have a chance, like you can land a shot on him or you can land a punch on him, he heals super fast. He's superhuman. It's not gonna do much in the long run. The psychological warfare is next level too. Wesker doesn't just beat you. He wants to toy with you. He wants to mock you. He wants to critique your combat capability. Imagine trying to fight someone that treats your best efforts like a child's temper tantrum. For the average person, facing Wesker would be like bringing a potato to a gunfight. While you can hit him with it, it's not gonna do much. The combination of his superhero capabilities, tactical genius, and insufferable superiority complex, this makes him practically invincible. But if you thought dealing with a superhuman mastermind like Wesker, wait until you meet the man that takes family bonding to the next level. Welcome to the Baker house. You made it just in time for dinner. You hungry? The person leading this chaos is Jack Baker. He's the man of the house. He combines southern hospitality with regenerative mold powers and an extreme anger for Ethan. Let's talk about what makes Jack Baker basically unbeatable. First of all, this man treats fatal injuries like minor inconveniences. Hit him with your car, he'll be fine. Light him on fire, he'll be fine. Cut him in half with a chainsaw, he comes back even stronger. The mold infection didn't just make him immortal. It turned him into a walking nightmare with strength that combats the Incredible Hulk. This man can punch through walls, flip cars, and probably bench press a tractor for fun. And the scariest part, he makes dad jokes while doing it. No thank you. But what makes Jack really unbeatable is his home field advantage. While you're in the Baker State, he knows exactly where you are at all times. He knows that place like the back of his hand. Every creaky floorboard, every hidden passage, he knows about it. Think you found a good hiding spot? Yeah, that's where he was just stashing his bodies. Let's talk about his persistence. Most monsters give up after you've killed them once, maybe even twice, but Jack, he doesn't care. He'll keep coming back and coming back and coming back. He's like Terminator if he was powered by baked beans. The psychological warfare is next level too. Jack doesn't want to just kill you. He wants to welcome you to the family, whether you like it or not.
Welcome to the family, son.
Imagine trying to survive someone that's immortal who keeps calling you son and you have no idea who they are. It's like walking down the street in Portland. Even if you manage to get your hands on some serious weapons, this is what you're still dealing with. A guy who can regenerate from practically any injury. A guy who can track you through his own house like a bloodhound. And then turn family dinner into a Texas Chainsaw Massacre cosplay event. But if you thought an unstoppable family man was bad, let's talk about the Lycans. Have you ever thought werewolves are just big puppies with anger issues? Resident Evil Village's Lycans are here to violently correct those assumptions. Let's break down why this furry nightmare is practically unbeatable. First off, you might be able to survive if it's just one of them, but it's never just one of them. They're like werewolves. They hunt in packs, and they don't leave each other's sides. The only time they do is to ambush you from one of them. They'll flank you, they'll cut off your escape routes, and laugh at you and point at you because your cardio's so bad. Their physical capabilities are genuinely ridiculous. They look like they're playing hopscotch across roofs while they're climbing buildings. The average person can barely climb stairs without getting winded. How do you expect to survive this? Try fighting something that does parkour as a casual warm-up. But here's what's really fun is they come in variants. You have your standard Lycans, which are pretty bad. They're like regular werewolves. And you have the heavy armored ones because someone decided that regular Lycans needed an upgrade. It was Heisenberg. And then you remember that really big one? Yeah, the one with the hammer. You're not surviving. It's like a regular Lycan, but bigger, angrier, and probably a membership. They sound the lunk alarm while he's walking up to the Planet Fitness. These aren't mindless beasts. They use weapons, they set traps, and they coordinate attacks with one another. Imagine something that has the instincts of humans and animals. Yeah, exactly. You're going down. For the average person, like I said, one Lycan might not be that bad, but now you're going up against a whole village of them. Your options are basically run, they're faster than you, hide, they can smell you, fight, good luck, I don't know what you're thinking, and accept your life as a Lycan meal. There's literally no option that you survive with this. But if you thought the Wolfmen were terrifying, let's talk about hunters. And yes, that's actually their name. Imagine if someone looked at a Velociraptor and thought, oh, let's add more muscle, bigger claws, and the ability to give any player a panic attack. That's basically how we got hunters. These lovely specimens is what happens when Umbrella Corporation decides to mix reptile DNA with a T-virus. The result? A bioweapon that makes the Jurassic Park movies look like they're at petting zoos. And let's be real, they're called hunters for a reason. And it's not because they're good at hide and seek. Similar to the Lycans, they're not just animalistic, they're smart. These things were literally designed to be perfect killing machines, and Umbrella delivered on that. And let's talk about their signature move, the decapitation leap. Most monsters are content with just mauling you to death, but hunters, they go for style points. They can jump across an entire room and separate your head from your shoulders. While you're thinking, wait, what's that noise? You can't even get that sentence out and your head's already on the ground. Their physical ability attributes are absolutely insane. They have claws that can slice through protective gear like butter, muscles dense enough to just crush your head, agility that makes an Olympic gymnast look sluggish, and a face only a mad scientist could love. But here's what actually makes them unbeatable for the average person. Again, they're not mindless beasts, they're calculated killers. They're called hunters because they hunt you, they want to find you, and they will find you. And just when you think you have them figured out, like Lycans, Umbrella's made different kinds of them. You got beta hunters with poison claws, gamma hunters, where it looks like someone crossed a frog with a nightmare, and the Hunter 2, which is basically just an upgraded version of the original one. But if you thought genetically engineered killing machines were bad, wait until you meet what's in the Baker basement. The molded, they look like the leftover corners of your fridge when you haven't cleaned it. And if you left it there and it just kept growing into this human thing that's gonna cut my head off. The molded aren't just your average bioweapon. They're what happens when someone looks at black mold and thinks, hey, what if we made this, I don't know, worse? Basically fungal infections with anger management issues and serious personal space issues. Let me through, you're blocking the exit. These things are basically walking goo with teeth. Fighting these things is like fighting pudding with a BB gun. And those teeth, these molded could bite right through you. Oh, and just like every other great thing on this list, they have different variations. There's the fat molded that can spit acid, the crawler molded that's a rejected Spider-Man villain, and probably so many more. These things don't just try to kill you, they make you question every little black puddle on the ground. I hope you don't have a lot of those, but the Bakers do, so you know, they make you question if something's gonna come peering around the corner to attack you. They're just everywhere. And that sound they make, they just sound, just play the sound. Yeah, I don't like that. And let's talk about their environment. The molded thrive in dark, damp spaces like actual mold, which, lucky for them, this is like any horror movie space. And if you're here, they're just gonna gang up on you and, I don't know, you're gonna get destroyed or you're gonna become like Ethan. Spoiler alert, I guess. But if you thought fungal monsters were gonna be the peak of biological terror, let's talk about the gigantic spider. Because spiders weren't enough already. You know when people say kill it with fire when they see a regular spider? Well, Resident Evil's giant spider is not gonna let that happen. Let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say giant spider in the room? The giant spider in the room. This isn't your average catch and release outside kind of spider. What Umbrella decided to do was make a spider the size of a small school bus. What makes this 8-legged nightmare truly terrifying isn't just its sheer size, though that's terrifying on its own. It's their arsenal. They're spiders, so they can spin webs, and it's a spider. Of course, it's venomous. There's little spiders that if they bite you, you're just gonna die on the spot. This thing's like that, but huge, so you're gonna die more on the spot. I don't know. They're gonna kill you. But funny enough, they can spawn smaller spiders. It literally has an army of mini versions of it. It's like a nightmare pyramid scheme, where everyone is trying to eat you. Their movement is another level of horror. They scuttle across walls and the ground. They're like a cheetah hyped up on caffeine. For the average person encountering one of these, it would look a lot like Scream Louder, and you're dead. There's no step 3 actually. The psychological aspect of this is devastating, especially for me. Even people who aren't normally afraid of spiders, when you see one in your car with you, you're probably gonna shimmy a little bit away. You don't want it next to you. And for those who already have arachnophobia, me, this is basically my worst nightmare, but with 8 shoes on. So yeah, me personally, terrifying gigantic spider would probably be the worst on this list. And with that, we've talked about some Resident Evil monsters that are completely unbeatable. And if you want to argue with me in the comment section and talk about how you're right and I'm wrong, then go ahead and do so. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and click the video on screen right now.